Competitive Pokemon can be a very cruel game. The existence of hacks and critical hits can turn the tides in and out of your favor at a moment's notice. Your New York Mankeys are 6 weeks deep into the Draft League season, and our battle against Shuckle King and the Philadelphia Stunky is a perfect example of the hacky game that Pokemon can be. Let's go over the Mankeys that we brought this week. First up, we're going to be bringing our Thwacky. Linhardt is joining us yet again. This thing is putting in way more work and has way more use for our team than I ever could have imagined when I picked him up. But we are rocking Eviolite, literally very similar set. We have Grassy Glide, Knockoff, Woodhammer, and U-Turn. I really like this setup. I pretty much am off the Leech Seed bandwagon. I don't think I'll really be bringing Leech Seed much unless I really see some stally mons. Granted, it wouldn't be too bad to seed up the Hatterene or the Bronzong, not gonna lie. But Woodhammer in the grassy terrain is just such a strong move that I want to rock it. It can do some crazy damage against a lot of things that don't OHKO me. And obviously, it basically OHKOs. It has like a 60% chance to OHKO Ursaluna. So I love that. We're running enough speed on this thing, by the way. You'll see 224 across my team. I'm just terrified of Ursaluna. That's what we're going into. Super scared of Ursaluna. And I want everything to outspeed Ursaluna. So not a single thing on my team, besides Grimmsnarl, is going to be slower than Ursaluna, and there's a reason for that. We have the U-Turn for initiative, Grassy Glide priority, and Knockoff, because against the Bronzong and the Hatterene, knocking off whatever they have is going to be very nice for us. I'm kind of scared of those two mons for sure. Up next, we have Shamir. Our Sneasler is coming back. Now, this is the first time I'm running a set like this, and I have a very specific reason as to why I am. So I'm running Mirror Herb, Poison Touch, actually. So here's kind of the thought process behind this. Mirror Herb copies a stat gain, right? And my opponent has the Baxcalibur. My opponent has Calm Mind potentially on Ursaluna. Not that I really want to copy that, but it has a few different ways to set up. It has Belly Drum and Hariyama. That's another big one that I'm running this for. So if I see Hariyama or Baxcalibur on the field and my Shamir's at full HP, I'm probably going to switch it in and just try to see if we can make some content happen. That's really what I'm going for here. Outside of that, I've decided to not go Unburden. I know it seems weird going Mirror Herb but not Unburden, but I think a majority of the battle, I'm really going to want to just try to get things poisoned. There's a few poison immunities with the Bronzong and the Glamora, and then I can't fake out the Mismagius, but Poison Touch will add poison to all of my contact moves, right? 30% chance. So Dire Claw is gonna get some poison off, if not one of its own poisons from Dire Claw, the Poison Touch, please. But we do see Fake Out. It's really here. I'm running this set with Fake Out because of the potential Trick Room that my boy Shuckle has. Shuckle has potential for Trick Room with Hatterene, Bronzong, Ursaluna. They work, and Hariyama, that works really well under Trick Room. He just picked up these mons, so I really have no, I can't go back and study his gameplay. A lot of these mons are new to his team. I'm excited to see what he wants to do with it, but I've kind of gone a little zany this week because we are riding double wins. I would love to get a third win in a row. I wanted to go a little zany. So we're running Poison Touch, Fake Out, Dire Claw, Close Combat, U-Turn. So the strat really is if the Trick Room does go up, I can use Fake Out to go ahead and stall out the Trick Room, swap out into, say, our next Pokemon, come back in and Fake Out as well. And our next Pokemon is Caspar. And yes, we are running Leftovers. This is a max special defense set, not max HP though, because I wanted to run enough speed to outspeed the Ursaluna. I wanted to run enough special attack to OHKO the Ursaluna with a Hydro Pump. If I miss Hydro Pump, I'm going to cry. You guys are not seeing things incorrectly. I am running Rain Dance. Why is that? Well, I like Rain Dance a lot in this situation. Reduces any fire super effective hits for my Linhardt. Not that he has Stab Fire readily available, but it's still something to take note of. And more importantly, it bumps up my Hydro Pump, right? If I go for a Rain Dance as Ursaluna goes for a Calm Mind, I still take him out with a Hydro Pump, which I really love. Volt Switch is free on everything except for Ursaluna, and that's what I was talking about before. If Trick Room is up, I'll go ahead and use Caspar as like a slow Volt Switch out into Shamir, unless he has something super fast on the board or slow under Trick Room. So obviously my Volt Switch will go off before Hatterene, at which point I'm just going to want to Thunder Wave first and try to go for some Para Hacks. But that's our Rotom, pretty basic stuff. Next up, we have Marianne, our Azelf. Now this Pokemon is going to put in work. I really have a gut feeling. We're going Life Orb for max damage. It outspeeds everything on my opponent's team, ignoring potential Scarf Zapdos or Scarf Mismagius. Greninja outspeeds me as well, but besides the Greninja, nothing naturally outspeeds me. So I have enough speed in here just to make sure I outspeed the Mismagius when they're timid. The rest is gonna be in special attack and then HP for both. We have the Life Orb for max damage because we have super effective damage for every single Pokemon. I won't really keep this thing in against Greninja. Obviously, Greninja, our switch-in is most likely going to be Caspar because it is especially defensive. Or we can go with Linhardt because outside of an Ice Beam, Protean only works once, so unless it predicts the Linhardt and goes for the Ice Beam, I'm going to feel pretty good. Our next Pokemon, you guys are not seeing this incorrect. This is Dedue, our Archulodon. And we have Iron Defense, Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere, and Electro Shot. Once again, enough speed to outspeed max speed timid Ursaluna. Blood Moon, of course. And this special attack makes it so that we can OHKO with Aura Sphere after we get Electro Shot off. So here's kind of the plan. I want to sit in front of a Pokemon that can't do much to me, something like a Bronzong, right? And then I can go for like an Iron Defense here. And then I want to click Electro Shot, whether the rain is up or not. I would love the rain to be up, but if the rain is not up, it's okay. Taking one turn to charge my special attack and baiting in the Ursaluna because it will be immune, like it's the best thing to come in on a charged Electro Shot, is fine with me, because unless that thing is an Assault Vest user, it is not going to go ahead and survive a +1 Aura Sphere. And pretty much that goes the same for everything on my opponent's team. The scariest thing for to do is going to be the Greninja. Otherwise, there's no stab super effective access that this guy has that will outspeed. Now, that's not entirely true, because Zapdos Galar is very, very scary. But that's one of the reasons why I'm running Iron Defense, even though we're not running Body Press. If I can get some Iron Defense off and then go for Electro Shot, that is like the creme de la creme perfection. I would love that. We'll see how it plays out though. And finally, this was an interesting spot for me to be in. I ended up deciding to go with Talus, and I really used offensive Talus a lot the past 2 weeks, and I decided to go with Light Clay. We haven't done screens yet, and I'm hoping I can catch Shuckle off guard because of that. Maybe he won't bring the Brick Break on Zapdos or on Hariyama. That would be ideal. Because once again, to do under a screen is gonna be insane. Same thing with Marianne, honestly. Marianne has that coverage where if I can get Marianne under a screen and we have the Glamora, did I say I have no super effective damage for Glamora when I literally have Mystical Power? Yeah, I did. I have Mystical Power. Ignore me. And it one-shots. I remember running those calcs. So if I have a Azelf behind screens, it will threaten every single Pokemon on my opponent's team. Now, I can't really Mystical Power while the Greninja's around healthy, because it's a free switching, but I do Dazzling Gleam and OHKO the Greninja. So, and once again, if I have the light screen up, I could very well stay in on a Dark Pulse. I think it'll be fine. So we'll see how it goes. This is our setup though. Reflect, Light Screen, Parting Shot, Play Rough. Play Rough is the only move that Play Rough is the only offensive move that I have. Otherwise, we're just going screens and Parting Shot. I have to be careful because Zapdos does have Defiant. I do not want a Parting Shot until Zapdos is gone or guaranteed to not come in. Because if Zapdos comes in and gets the +2/+2, it'll bring it to +3 technically after Parting Shot, right? That is way too strong, even for Marianne to come in, unless we knew for certain that the Zapdos was not Scarfed and I could just OHKO it with a Mystical Power. We won't have that information. So I cannot Parting Shot, honestly, if Zapdos is at Team Preview and if it's not dead yet. So that's it. Or unless I know that my opponent's gonna be going for a KO. I'm not sure. But that's gonna be it for me on the Team Builder. Let's jump into the battle and see how we do. All right, let's hop into this Team Preview and see what Shuckle King is bringing. We have, I got almost all of this right. You didn't bring the Blood Moon? Oh, I'm cooked. I'm cooked, dude. The whole team breakdown that I linked, all I was focusing on was Blood Moon, and we don't see it. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Alamamola, Patterine, Miss Magius, Hariyama, no Greninja. Instead, we have Baxcalibur. Okay. So as far as a lead might be for my opponent here, I don't know. I don't think there's any hazards here, so that's kind of cool. I like that. I kind of want to just lead Shamir and click Fake Out. That actually feels kind of strong. There is no Electric Immunity, so Volt Switch is free. I wonder if he knows that I know that, and then he's just gonna know everything. There's also no Greninja, so I can Parting Shot for free, which is pretty interesting. Do I just lead Talus and go for the Parting Shot or for the screen? Actually, I can't because of that Zapdos. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and lead Caspar. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna lead Linhardt. I think getting the grassy terrain up sooner than later could end up being very useful. We also have the Thunder Wave. At the very least, the Mirror Herb on the Sneasler that I'm packing could end up packing a punch, right? Between Dragon Dance, Baxcalibur potentially, or the Belly Drum Hariyama. This is gonna be crazy. I mean, he's definitely going Trick Room, right? This is super, super Trick Roomy, which is why he ended up not bringing the Greninja, I'm guessing. I can't believe, though, no Ursaluna. I prepped so hard for this Ursaluna, so good on him not bringing it. That is genius. That is absolutely genius. All right, my mic was muted here, but at least it's not muted in my commentary. W. Okay, so we're gonna see Hariyama leads. This is pretty bad, because this could just be straight up Belly Drum right away. But I think if he did that, that would end up resulting in some pain, I would say. I think that would result in some pain. Let's see, if I go to my Thwacky, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to go ahead and just Woodhammer here against Hariyama. I kind of want to just go for the Woodhammer, which would do 80%. That is a lot. And then Grassy Glide would finish you off. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna Terra. This is my only Terra captain. I don't know, actually. I should have taken a gander what his Terra is. I didn't even mention that. Definitely out of my element right now. We are Terra-ing first, even if he is going to Terra. Let's see. What would be the team that what's the Terra that you have? Totally forgot that's a thing. Is it gonna be the Hariyama? It is the Hariyama. All right, well, we don't gotta wait long to find out. I wonder if it's just gonna be a straight up grass resist and I got good. Is it fire? It's Terra fighting. So going for straight up maximum output already. This is insane. I did not anticipate this. We're gonna get a Woodhammer off. If I can crit, let's see how much this does. We're gonna go ahead and do 80%. I'm damaged by the recoil a ton, and then we're gonna see a CC. This close combat might just take me out. Yeah, that close combat just takes me out completely. Okay, so not as bad as a start as you might think, you know? I got the Linhardt up. We know this thing is slow. Its defenses are down. This can be one of two things. This can be a free Volt Switch. That's not a bad idea. Going for a straight. This could also be a completely free Mystical Power, which that feels really strong. I think that's very, very strong into his team. Now, you could have a Choice Scarfer, obviously in the back, and I kind of anticipate that. I feel like you're going to. But I don't really see a better time. I could go for Reflect, but I think just going Mystical Power here is... Oh, I'm running Expert Belt, not Life Orb. Okay, that is a problem for my calcs, that's for sure. I mean, but Volt Switch is just free, and it definitely takes you out with the -1/-1, and I get Initiative. But this is big damage. We're just gonna do this. And I do have to take a Mach Punch, but at least I resist it. I do resist the Mach Punch, which is kind of nice. So let's go for Mystical Power here. I'm not even gonna think about it. There is no immunities on his team. Let's crack on. Ooh, okay, we're gonna get our Mystical Power off, and it's obviously gonna take out this Hariyama. So we're kind of just trading here, but I am in a situation where he definitely has to react, right? Like I have Marianne here at +1. And that is a dangerous thing, although we are Expert Belt, not Life Orb. So I do have to change that in my calculator. I think the best thing he's gonna be able to go out into is probably Hatterene here. But Shadow Ball does a lot. Shadow Ball does do a lot. It doesn't take it out, unfortunately. But Shadow Ball does do a ton of damage. If I was Life Orb, oh, it's gone. It's cooked. All right, so we can see Flaky John. Okay, okay. Ooh, it's gonna be the Baxcalibur. Interesting. Dazzling Gleam has a 56% chance to OHKO. I like that. Glaive Rush will absolutely take me out, though, if I decide to do this. And you know what? What is the chance? 56.3, better than a coin toss. I think I'm actually gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the D-Gleam here. I'm gonna go for the D-Gleam. I mean, he sent this in as a threat, for sure, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I do get the knockout, baby! Woo! Who needs Life Orb? Who needs it? Not me, not me, not me. Baxcalibur gone is a massive threat cooked. A completely massive threat, and it always feels good when you stick to your guns and decide, hey, I'm gonna put the pressure on. So far, this grassy terrain, not doing much. I still think that Hatterene might be the best switch-in. Even I think Almamola. I mean, listen, the fact that he didn't go Zapdos tells me it's not Choice Scarf Zapdos. I don't think I have to worry about Scarf Zapdos at all. All right, we're gonna see Carpe Diem. Carpe is going to be the Almamola. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this thing is gonna wanna do. But if I want to make sure I can OHKO everyone, I could just go a Mystical Power here, but I think Energy Ball has a good chance to OHKO. Based on what I'm seeing, unless it's fully specially defensive, Energy Ball has a pretty good chance to OHKO. If it is max special defense, oh, it eats it really well. But I think the fact that he didn't do it makes me feel like he's not max special defense. You know what we'll do? Well, Energy Ball, maybe we get the KO. We're in the grassy terrain. Does that matter? I'm levitating now. Oh, it's done! Let's see if that matters. Nope, it does not get impacted. So that was a physically defensive Almamola. A physically defensive Almamola, clearly, and we secure another knockout. Oh boy. Dude, Marianne is just out here for blood. I kind of anticipated that this Pokemon was gonna be very, very good in this matchup, but I did not expect this. Okay, so we see Waifu. This is Hatterene. Now, this could be Trick Room, right? This could be Trick Room. Either way, I click Shadow Ball. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and fire out a Shadow Ball here. It could take you out, it could not. Let's see. It just barely survives, and there is the aforementioned Trick Room. This is a scary spot. just because Trick Room is terrifying. So even though I had very strong momentum up to this point, now it's kind of scary, man. It is. I think I don't bother going for the miss. I actually think there's a chance that I'm supposed to go out into Caspar is the correct play. I think we leave Marianne at full HP because once the Trick Room is done and once the Trick Room is over with, it looks like Azelf outspeeds the rest of the team based on how my man was playing. Based on how Shuckle was playing, Azelf should outspeed. So I'm gonna switch out. I don't even want to risk any damage on this thing. Let's leave it at full HP. This should just be fairy type special move. It'll do a lot, I'm sure. Draining Kiss. Okay, Draining Kiss is kind of fine with me. It's gonna go ahead and gain some HP back. I almost want to go for the Rain Dance here. I do almost want to go for the Rain Dance. But I think it would be better to just, let's calc a Volt Switch on this thing. All right, so Volt Switch has a pretty good chance to take this thing out depending on how it's EV'd, so I'm gonna go for that. That way, if my opponent switches, it'll feel pretty fine. Oh, after Draining Kiss, I won't though. But that's okay. This actually works out perfect, right? I didn't check the number of Trick Room turns. Kind of wish I did, but that's okay. We're gonna go for the Volt Switch. Ooh, that does a lot of damage. Actually, that does enough damage where Fake Out will take you out, I'm pretty sure. I know you've got some good natural bulk, but at the end of the day, I'm a Sneasler, right? So let's go into the Sneasler here. And Shamir's gonna hit the board. Let's go for the Fake Out. And let's just check how many turns to Trick Room, just so we know. Trick Room has 2 turns left, so that works out. We can go Fake Out here. And if you're cloaked, you're not cloaked. So Sneasler is gonna get a knockout. Sneasler KOs Hatterene, baby. Man, I can't believe how much work Marianne put in. So we see the Zapdos come in. Now ooh, I love the shiny. I'm faster than Zapdos, but Trick Room is up, so I'm slower than Zapdos. No, I'm faster than Zapdos, so this thing is just faster than me. So I don't know if you get any setup move. Let's see. Ancient Power, you have Bulk Up, you have Counter, Endeavor. I think this is just I think this will just end up being a Brave Bird coming out. So we could do one of 2 things. I could go out into Dedue and get a defense buff, but then, you know, the fighting type attack is gonna hurt. I think we just go out into Caspar, right? We just go out into Caspar here because it should be Brave Bird at the end of the day. I think it should be Brave Bird. And I'd rather just hold on to our Fake Out pressure if we need it. We're gonna see Brave Bird. I can take that very not well at all. Is that Banded or is that Life Orb? Nope, that's gotta be Banded, right? Let's see. Brave Bird, I didn't even see how much it really did, but it did enough to scare me. So I'm just gonna go for a Volt Switch here. I should go for a Rain Dance, actually. No, we'll go for Volt Switch. Go for Volt Switch, we'll let Rotom go down to the Brave Birds. And I mean, I'm fully convinced that this thing is not Scarfed. If he's Scarfed, he got me so good. Damaged by the recoil. I think there's the best thing to do, right, is to go out into Marianne. I could set up a Reflect, which would be like extra security. But let's go into the Marianne, because Marianne should just outspeed. If it doesn't, and for some reason it is Scarfed, I don't think Brave Bird will take me out regardless. We should be able to just go for a Mystical Power here. We outspeed, Mystical Power connects. It should be enough with the Expert Belt. Azelf's gonna take out the Zapdos as well, and then it's just gonna be 1 remaining Pokemon. So I think this is one of those times where Azelf gets 5 knockouts in a battle. Dude, I'm really happy with Azelf. I'm really happy with Azelf. We see the second round. We are faster than this thing if it's not Scarfed. I'm just gonna click Shadow Ball. It could be Focus Sash for what it's worth. It could definitely be sashed. And we might see a Shadow Ball Revenge. Nope. Okay, we're gonna go Shadow Ball +1 Shadow Ball. If you're not sashed, you're cooked. That's gonna be it. Your Mankeys have won 3 in a row. GG, Shuckle. Azelf just proving to be an absolute monster. I really hope you enjoyed this battle, albeit a quick one. I will see you next week for week 7. Keep it shady.